Hey you guys, welcome to Leo season. So I thought it would be fun to kind of kick it off with a pick a card reading, which I've never really done before, but I love watching them, so I wanted to create one for you guys too. Just something extra, like we'll still do the monthlies the way we always do, but I might start incorporating more pick a cards, just super random, fun things throughout the course of the month as I just kind of come up with ideas and just extra stuff. So let me know what you think. Okay, you guys, here we have the 4 piles. We have pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. Take a moment and allow your intuition to really speak to you. If you have to pause the video, feel free. Just pick whichever pile speaks to you the most or whichever is calling you the most. You can ask a specific question if you want. If not, don't worry about it. Just keep it open. The crystals that we have is the citrine, a malachite, black tourmaline, and a lapis lazuli. Okay, so go ahead, take a moment, and we're going to go ahead and begin with pile 1. Okay, you guys, here's pile number 1 with the citrine crystals. Let's go ahead and get started. A lot of different cards from a lot of different decks. So it's going to be interesting. All right, King of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, and 2 of Pentacles. Wow. Interesting that even the citrine is the kind of money stone as well. Well, it's not interesting. That's just the kind of way it works. King of Coins, a card of Taurus. If you're dealing with a Taurus, a Virgo, Capricorn, it's likely that they are kind of showing up in your life a little bit in kind of an interesting way. They provide both stability and generosity and kindness, but also at the same time they seem to be causing some disruption in you, feeling a little bit like, okay, do I have to pick this thing? Do I have to pick that thing? What am I owed to this person? What does this person owe to me? There's a question of like exchange. So if you do something for them, they do something for you. So it's going to be really important for you to set the terms of any kind of an agreement that you have so that you actually make sure that it's fair. The 6 of Coins is always about fairness. What you give is also what you receive, but make sure that you are not giving selfishly and only because you want something in return, because that can backfire big time. If you're not feeling good about it, if you're not feeling settled about it, don't worry about turning this person down. Believe me, they can absolutely deal with it. The King of Coins is... they're sensitive, yeah, but I think they're also a lot more practical than we usually give them credit for. The King of Coins is, if you're honest with them, they respect you. And, I think they'll give you respect and honesty in return as well. So if something is just seriously not working, just say it. Just say the words. This is a very honest and respectful exchange that I see going on here. So there's no need to be afraid, okay? All right, the next set of cards, we get 3 of Cups and the 6 of Wands. Wonderful. Well, the 3 of Cups is all about abundance. It's about fun. It's about being with your friends and enjoying your life and enjoying things that your life has to offer. So if this is someone important in your life, it may be that maybe after that kind of honest exchange that you have, you relax a little bit, take a beat, take a moment, take a second to just kind of like enjoy each other's company, enjoy each other's presence, go out, have drinks, and just kind of like don't worry about it. There's a vibe of no matter what goes down, don't worry about it. And the 6 of Wands is always a card of victory. It's a card of success that suggests that even if it doesn't work out, even if you agree to disagree, even if you agree to separate, whatever it is, it's going to be great. And I think you're going to feel really empowered by your ability to communicate your needs. And I think you're going to feel fulfilled with the exchange, even if it's not quite, the ultimate or perfect result. You'll still feel fulfilled by it. There will be a feeling of closure. There will be a feeling of acceptance with the whole thing. So there's no quality of lingering here at all, which is great, because sometimes in life we do have those moments where we feel like we're being led on, or we feel like we are trying to chase someone down, trying to get something from them so that we can just feel at peace. That's not what this is. So once it's over, once that communication has been had and a decision has been made, you'll feel a weight lifted off of your shoulders. And I think you're going to be really excited about the new level of self-respect that you've attained, because maybe some of you are struggling, right? Citrine is connected with the third chakra or the solar plexus, which all has to do with about self-empowerment, has to do with confidence and owning your gut. Like, what does your gut instinct say? And like really going with it. So I think you're going to find this new power within yourself as well and be like, wow, that's how it works. That's great. That's amazing. Okay. Pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Well, what did I just say about the intuition, right? What did I just say about that gut feeling? Yeah, you are the oracle. And this is going to be a month or a time when you feel that light coursing through you. Some of you are going to make some major strides in opening up your chakra systems. Some of you are going to maybe even have a Kundalini awakening, if that's something that you're either wanting or working towards, or you're trying to allow to happen, whatever. I know you can't really go out and make it happen. It's just more of relaxing into it, but some of you may actually have it happen. There could be a shift or a turnover in your interactions with certain people, or even in your friend groups. You could leave certain people behind and incorporate new people that help to lift you up. It could be people who are more successful financially, people who are, have been married for 10 years. If you're looking for relationship advice, these could be people that have the things that you're really wanting in your life. Now, I pulled the Divine Feminine card. I know there will be men watching, but I love the Divine Energy deck. The Divine Feminine deck. So here we have Kali, the mother of the universe. I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. Wow. I love how all these cards just confirm, like row after row after row. They confirm the message that this is going to be a time where there are no apologies. You make no excuses. You say what you want. You say what you need. And you let the kind of cards fall where they may. If something needs to be destroyed, fine. You just allow it to be destroyed, because there's so much faith, right? As you raise your vibration, as you tap into that oracle energy within yourself, you realize that there is absolutely no reason to be afraid. There is a quality of fearlessness coming through here, which is amazing. Animal spirit deck. Okay, porcupine spirit. Time for the beginner mind. Where there is an end, there is always a new beginning. So it's a real fluid movement I'm sensing with everything. It's real, just like easy. This whole transition is so easy, but it is important for you to have that. Even this is kind of like a Fool energy in the tarot, right? The open-mindedness to receive, again, as an oracle, that is your mode to receive new information, new pathways, new doorways to really open up for yourself. To not be arrogant in any of these exchanges at all. No arrogance whatsoever. Nothing except gratitude and humility. And I think you're going to find a playfulness that maybe you've been really searching for. And last but not least, align your universe and navigate distractions. Amazing. As we talk about kind of a streamlining of your life, that's exactly what you're doing. You are aligning your universe. You are connecting dots based on how this voice inside of you is really pushing you forward. I have a feeling some of you are going to, well, Three of Cups can often be too like a, sometimes we do get caught in the grapevine rumor mills, right? Or we get caught in the gossip. We get caught in who's doing what. And I think that is the distractive quality coming through in the reading. So now is not going to be a month for you to listen to anybody else, especially when they're talking about other people. There's no need for you to get all worked up about what anyone else is doing. Keep your eye on the ball, keep your head in the game, because you are beginning a whole new kind of, we just had eclipses, so you're building this whole new turnover for yourself, and there's a lot of focus that's needed as you are navigating uncharted territory. Okay? All right, you guys, I'm going to leave you with that. Have an excellent August. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, for those of you who picked pile number 2, let's go ahead and get started. I love the green of this particular stone. It's one of my favorite stones, and I have lots of it in my bedroom, actually. Okay, so what do we got? We got the 4 of coins, we have the devil energy, and we have the page of pentacles. Wow. Okay, some of you are being asked to truly release something because there's absolutely some kind of clinging. Now, we just had all these eclipse energies, so, you know, it's kind of like there's still a lot of hope. Hope can be one of the most amazing things if it fuels faith. But if you're feeling hope in that it fuels fear, right? Like, I really hope this person will change, because you're hoping he'll change because you're afraid he won't, right? Those are the kinds of energies that you need to pay very, very close attention to. There's going to be an opportunity that comes your way, some kind of communication, some kind of like little ping, something. And I think this is going to test your hope. So it's going to be really important for you to be aware and cognizant of what's the dialogue that's really going on inside of you. What is this narrative? What is this story that you're telling yourself? Because this is neither here nor there. It's kind of a neutral energy. It's kind of irrelevant. It's more to get you to continue to reflect back in on yourself, because somewhere you're still tied up on something, or you're still caught on someone or some idea. You're still like clinging. And it's going to be a month of just acknowledgement. I don't necessarily know that the release is going to officially happen, but as long as you are aware and conscious enough that you are acknowledging that attachment, that's enough. That's great. That's like huge amounts of progress. And anyone that kind of tries to come in at you at this particular moment in time is kind of like redirecting you to this devil energy, getting you to really see where your attachments are. And sometimes we can be attached to goals even, you know, we can be attached to things that aren't bad, you know, like goals are not bad. Ambitions and dreams and things, they're not bad, but they also, you know, kind of give you a sense of tunnel vision, where I think maybe the universe is trying to get you to expand a little bit, to relax, right? To kind of loosen your tethers a little bit for the sake of achieving more of what's possible. Okay? So just notice it. Alrighty. We have a card of shadow work. Wow, coming out with the devil and the Knight of Coins. So some of you may have an earth sign, right? That was page, right? Yeah, Page of Coins, Knight of Coins. Some of you may be dealing with an earth sign. Interesting, because the first pile also had an earth sign, so maybe the earth signs are kind of creeping out during August. But it's more like, who cares, right? This girl is looking totally away. This knight coming in towards you. It's almost as though their energy is completely irrelevant. They may be trying to give you something that you've always wanted. They may be trying to give you something that let's say you thought you always wanted, and yet somehow it seems a little bit unsettling. Now, this is not a month of weakness, okay? Just because you get the devil doesn't mean there's any form of weakness. In fact, doing the shadow work, connecting with your ego, connecting with the desire itself, and really asking yourself, is this like a soul-driven desire, or is this an ego desire? That is one of the most empowering things a person can do, because it's a very humbling experience. And through humility, we start to receive more and more healing. We start to receive more and more messages, and we start to grow faster and faster and faster. So I think some of you are going to need to be quite greedy, right? 4 of Pentacles with your time. You're going to really need to put people off and say, you know what, I just don't feel like going out. I just don't feel like doing this. I just simply don't, because I would rather be at home doing my meditations. Like, this August is a beautiful month. It is Leo season. It's highly creative. And when you tap into the creative aspect mixed with shadow work, it's like the sky's the limit of the amount of healing that can be done. So the Knight of Coins, as much as we love him, as much as, you know, he could be giving you something good or whatever, I honestly think that offer is just going to need to go on the back burner for a little bit so that you can continue to focus on your stuff. Okay, if you are one who is philanthropic, you're charitable, now would be an amazing time for you to start doing that volunteer work as well. If you're someone that loves to work with children, I absolutely recommend working with children at this time too, connecting you with your inner child as well. Okay, so let's start with the oracles. Look at this, deep replenishment, retreat, rest, and be held. I even kind of see these two women looking at one another. It's all self-reflection here, which is often what the devil is an indication of too. Replenishment, self-care. This is almost kind of like a very Taurus energy where it's like, I'm going to stay in, I'm going to wear my comfy clothes, I'm going to do my skincare routine, I'm going to do my mani-pedi, like I'm going to do all the things that make me feel my absolute best. I'm going to create, I'm going to journal, I'm going to do all these things. In a way, it's almost like a purge. Like another purge, like how lucky you are actually that you get kind of a second month of that after the eclipses, of like just continual release, which is freeing you up for so much growth in the near future. All right, the divine feminine energy, the saint of spoken words. Every word I say becomes a prayer. I am the author of my own story. Wow. High levels of awareness containing the narrative that you, what did I say, right? Pay attention to the narrative, pay attention to the dialogue that you have going on in your mind, because if you're not along a positive path, you can, accidentally manifest some negativity into your life. I think that's something that people just don't understand when they're learning about manifestation, is that we are literally manifesting all the time, right? We're always manifesting stuff. So pay attention to what you're manifesting through your thoughts and your emotions. That's why your hope, you need to put that in, okay, is it fueling faith or is it fueling fear? And maybe you're hoping something with this Knight of Pentacles, but yet your intuition is like, look the other way. Look towards yourself. Look inside. Retreat, rest, be held. Okay? The animal spirit, we have the deer spirit, to bring a gentle touch. Okay, so here I am talking about kind of be selfish, but also be kind. It's important for you to have compassion, because just because you're doing the shadow work and just because you're going in deep and all of this doesn't mean that everyone is doing it, doesn't mean everyone wants to do it. So this particular individual in your life might be more whimsical. They might be just kind of having more fun with their life. They might be more reckless, more irresponsible. And you know what? That's okay. There should be no judgment toward anybody else. Just because you're choosing a path of growth doesn't mean that that's what everybody has to choose. Your choice is, well, do you want to be around that or not? But still be gentle, still be kind. And it will be, see, even the deer is kind of looking toward him as well. You don't need to get nasty with anybody, especially if they just send you an annoying text like, hey, or that super random, like, miss you text. And you're like, oh my God, really? Like, why are you sending me this random text? I don't need this nonsense in my life right now, right? Just turn them down gently, send it away. It's not a big deal, and wish them well. Wish them well, wish them love on their journey, and just, separate yourself. The deer is very skittish, and I think you are going to be quite skittish because there's still a little bit of uncertainty as you're navigating this sort of shadow work. Oh, beautiful. Light codes. Travel awaits you. So this is probably a good, and I love, so amethyst is like my favorite. So I have my amethyst pillar here and some amethyst here. And I love the amethyst color with this one because it's all about that high chakra, enlightenment, awakening, and also there's fun. I think there's a lot of fun that's coming through with that card in terms of astral projections, getting to know different aspects of yourself. It's going to be important to not like get so married of like, oh my God, I was so and so in my past life, or I have this alter existence on this planet over here. Like that stuff is super, super fun to do, but it's not necessarily the most important thing. But I think as you're doing the shadow work and you're doing the deep meditations, it'll be really great for you to do the fun things too, and just like go and explore. Yeah, like I'm seeing like travel, like astral travel. I see you going and exploring different lands and fantasy worlds and alternate realities and all these amazing things, connecting with your guides. Like, do it. That stuff is fun, and it makes your shadow work fun. And it gives you a whole different perspective of yourself. So you might as well just indulge. Okay? All right, you guys, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much. Have a good month. Okay, pile number 3, here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, wow, and 3 of Cups. So there could be a lot of feminine influences in your life this month. You could be taking on one energy or the other, or also both, or these could be 2 totally different people, most likely females, but they don't have to be. The Queen of Coins is, I love that she's actually holding an animal, because there's always this deep connection with the animal world, with life, and also the plant world too. Just so connected to anything that is representing Earth. She's very connected with her body. She's very connected with her money. She's very connected with her survival. Like super self-sufficient and intuitive to boot. The Queen of Cups is someone who is that intuitive person, connected with the feeling that's in the room, right? She just walks in and she's like, yeah, I know the vibe of this room, like boom. I'm reminded of an example. I was in New Orleans and my girlfriend and I, we went to this like jazz club. She gets up and we were having such a good time. She goes to the bathroom and she walks back and she's like, the vibe in here changed in like 2 minutes. Let's get out of here. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's get out of here. Because we both sort of sensed it. I'm getting that kind of feeling, just being really, really connected to when is it a good vibe? Who are good people? Who should I keep in my presence and who should I not be in my presence? 3 of Cups is an interesting energy that I've been seeing a lot of recently, especially in my private readings. It's a quality of like, on one side, it's fun and gratitude and feeling abundant and feeling like there's all these good things about to happen. There's like quality of anticipation coming through, which I think you can feel it, right? You can feel that there are good things coming. But on the other side, there's the gossip and the rumor mills and the people who just kind of overindulge a little bit too much and, you know, who don't really manage their bad habits, especially if it's like consuming alcohol or drugs or even too much eating and sugar and caffeine and that kind of thing. So just be careful of how much you're participating in 3 of Cups activity. If you're associating with high quality people and friend groups and coworkers, then by all means keep it going, because I think your intuition is going to be like, no, this is really good for me. But if in one moment, one instant, you feel like that vibe is off, get out of the room, because you don't want to mess your high vibe. You don't want to mess with that. I think that's really worth protecting. And because it's Leo season and it's all about the, you know, that solar plexus, that big chakra in the middle of your body, it's about the good things. It's about faith, empowerment, confidence. And you have to have the confidence to walk out of the room when you know that something isn't your vibe. But you're protecting something for a reason, because you're wanting a high quality lover, you're wanting a high quality job, you're wanting high quality friends. And so if that's really what you want, then it's going to be important for you not to base yourself, okay? Now, 2 more. We have the 4 of Coins and the 5 of Wands. So there might be some drama for you guys. Differences of opinion, especially. There might be some kind of need for you to keep your cool at a time when everyone else is kind of going crazy. Now, I don't see huge crazy energy coming through this month. I think it's going to be a lot better. People will feel more relaxed and all of this. But I think people are still adjusting to the post-eclipse energy. And so there is a little disharmony as people change, their life doesn't quite match. And it, you know, people are like wanting things immediately. And when they want things immediately, and it doesn't happen, they can get a little bit anxious. So it's going to be important for you to be restful. I love this Four of Coins because it is so peaceful. I love the stars on her face and all of her body because it's just like, it's the faith in the system. And I love Queen of Coins too because she's a very patient individual. She understands how life unfolds organically. She understands how you plant the seeds and you give it the proper environment, but it's really up to life itself for that seed to break through the ground and turn into a tree, right? So the Four of Coins is all about patience, you know, in a world and in a time where there could be a lot of movement, to stay center as we see the light in the heart and solar plexus chakras there, to stay as centered as possible because you're going to need to be centered. And when people start popping off, if they do, to not respond reactively, but to sit back quietly and just let them do their thing and then take a beat before you speak. Okay, the Queen of Cups is a lot more methodical. You know, she's very peaceful and soft-spoken. Actually, both of these, they're feminine, right? Coins and water, earth and water, they're feminine. So soft-spoken, caring, nurturing, compassionate, all those kinds of things. All right. The initiation, a rite of passage. Well, I think you've earned this whole new place that you're at. You've earned, I mean, because you've done the work, right? It's a rite of passage. You've earned it. You've officially crossed over. And I know you can feel that energy shift big time. I don't see the energy of other people so much because it almost kind of doesn't matter. Because you seem to be in a position where you don't really need anybody else. Like the people that are in your life are there because you genuinely want them to be there, not because you need them. And your life is evolving rapidly, even though it's like a very inconsistent message. A lot of patience, a lot of relaxation, a lot of time, a lot of surrender, so that your life can change quickly. You see what I mean? You're going to feel yourself cross over. You are reaching new heights of your spiritual awareness, your spiritual development, and as you feel yourself on this ascension process, I don't know, it's like you just kind of let yourself get lifted up. You just let yourself, the words that was coming to my mind for all you starseeds out there, it's like you just allow yourself to get beamed up to the mothership is really the words that were coming to my mind. So if that speaks to you, then lean into it. All right, the Divine Feminine card, the Prophetess of True Power. I call my power back from all times and all places. I am my own. Oh, and she's with a lion. It's kind of the epitome of the strength card in the tarot, working with ego and spirituality together, using your ego as a tool to get where you need to be in this world, but also to achieve the heights of your spirituality too. This is next level type of stuff. And I'm sorry, I just love all the glowing light, the stars on the face, the lights in the heart and here, and even the glowing light here. There is absolutely a light emitting from you that people are going to perceive. They're not going to know what it is exactly. They're not going to be able to look at you and be like, wow, that person is like a light being, but they're going to be like, there is something very special and very different about that person. For those of you who are trying to date, it might be difficult for you to attract someone during this time because you're shining so bright that you are going to be like repelling people that are not on that level. And so you may perceive it as like, no one wants to be with me, no one wants to hang out. Like, thank your lucky stars that no one wants to hang out, because it is going to take someone real special to like come together with you. So don't take it as like, what's wrong with me? Take it as like, okay, I'll be patient, I'll wait, right? That's a part, I think, of this crossing the threshold too, is you're entering into a new wavelength, and your dating pool and your friend pool as well is shifting. And unfortunately, it's not so easy because there are far fewer people at that level, but it's worth holding out for, because I think she is also a powerhouse when it comes to manifestation, especially the Queen of Coins too coming through, especially Four of Coins too. You get some manifestation powerhouse energy, so it is going to happen. That which you are, and you know that, Queen of Cups, like, you know that you're going to find that person, you know you're going to find that job or that perfect house, whatever you want, you know it's yours already. And the patience is actually probably a huge part of why you are crossing that threshold. Okay. Now, ooh, the Swan Spirit, beautiful. Time for a deep dive. To dive deep. To dive deep into what? To dive deep into this paradise, I think, honestly. And you are digging down deep to find this strength, to find this power. This actually seems to be the most important card that I'm getting. She's the most relevant, I think. I'm reminded of, I'm totally going to butcher this, I am so sorry. I think it was Maya Angelou that talked about, because I remember Oprah talking about it, but it's like, you come as one, but with the energy of 10,000. Like the 10,000 ancestors that came before you, that made your present moment possible, right? Like, you're driving around in your car, like, great, well, how many thousands or millions of people were responsible for the production of that car? You know, like, you have to kind of think of it like that. Where you are is possible because of the power of so many people. So you're really standing at the front lines. And time for a deep dive. It's time for you to go head first into your goals, head first into your dreams. How beautiful is that? You've become the swan. That's part of this rite of passage, crossing the threshold. You move from the ugly duckling into the beautiful swan, and here you are. Last but not least, the energy signature card. The past is in the present. Connection with time. Wow, what did I just say with all that? The past is in the present. Also, the future is in the present as well. I think you're going to come to new levels of understanding of how important this present moment is for you, how important this second, this breath, this observation. There doesn't seem to be a lot of projection in the future, because Four of Coins, Queen of Coins gives it more of that body experience. I see a lot of connection with your body actually in this reading too, which is the anchor or the tether, right? The body is what is keeping your soul present. It's where you always come back to every morning. So I think meditating on the present moment and with awareness, working on being as present as possible, as often as possible, is going to serve you well as we know you are moving into the future. Interesting. I think too there's a quality of, it already belongs to me. I don't have to worry about the future because I know it already belongs to me. Okay? Beautiful. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have an excellent month. Take care. Okay, pile number 4. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. So we start with the King of Wands. Beautiful. 5 of Swords. And the 2 of Swords. Wow. Okay, we'll start with the 5 of Swords, because this is a quality of like this is what I always say. It's my card of repeated patterns and bad habits that somehow, for whatever reason, we have a really hard time walking away from or breaking. The King of Wands, however, is giving you that power to do that, which is excellent. You know, when you are in a relationship and you find yourself in this loop, just like over and over and over, like, really, are we having this fight again? Or you find yourself like dating the same kind of person, or you find yourself working at companies with that same kind of like toxic morale. It's just like, I think this is a month where it's like, enough. And you may find yourself at a time where you kind of like ascend to the ceiling like a fly on the wall and watch yourself in this Five of Swords situation. And I think that's enough. I think that's exactly what you should be doing. Just watch yourself in the Five of Swords. Watch yourself have that interaction or that argument or that discussion that seems to continually lead nowhere. Especially if you're trying to like enlighten someone else for them to change their behavior. That is like a no-go. That's definitely not going to work. So what needs to happen is this King of Wands has this ability to sort of bypass anything. I mean, he can just kind of go from one thing to the next. You know what you want, you know what you need. And I don't necessarily see that this Five of Swords is a reflection back on you and your consciousness. It's more like you just need to stop engaging with that person or those people and just stop having that discussion. And whenever that discussion comes up or that point comes up, to recognize how annoyed it makes you and to just simply not engage. I think this is a time of non-engagement is really what I feel. Stepping away, elevating yourself, exhibiting compassion for that person who seems to be really stuck in their mindset. If you think you're the one that's stuck in the mindset, then it's important for you to have compassion with yourself as well. To have compassion for that person, to have compassion for their growth. And maybe one of the better things is to really step away and send healing energy to that person as well. Because who knows, maybe they'll receive some kind of a dream, or they'll receive some kind of like aha moment where it just clicks for them. They're like, oh my God, I never really saw it that way. But it's important for you to have peace with the whole thing and to not get worked up at all, honestly. Two of Swords is an energy of coming back to equilibrium, and because of the moon that's always present in this card, there is that aspect of intuition and the subconscious. I think you are wanting to be peaceful, you are wanting to have everything just kind of go back to normal. I think you're just like overripe ready, like way ready. And I think that's a possibility for you this month. What else? Okay, we get a couple more people here. King of Pentacles, King of Coins, and Queen of Coins. Beautiful. I seem to be looking at the King of Wands here. I'm seeing qualities of humility come through here. I'm seeing quiet energies of people that just want to not talk, not communicate. I see people who might even be, the Queen of Coins might actually be a little bit ashamed. So if this is someone who, again, a more feminine influence, so it could be a mother, sister, girlfriend, something like that, you're coming out, I think the people that are watching this are coming out quite masculine, meaning you're going to be the initiator, you're going to be the more aggressive in terms of bridging the gap between you and someone else, whereas this person is in the more receptive role. I think this person is also waiting for you to come to them, but honestly, I don't necessarily know that it's your responsibility to make them feel at peace, right? Because they might also be contributing to this Five of Swords. And I'm also feeling a quality of embarrassment with the Queen of Coins too for some reason. I'm not even sure why, where she might be feeling embarrassed to be engaged in this Five of Swords once she has that moment of like, oh wow, I get it. I see it from your perspective now. Like I really made a kind of a fool out of myself. And she might be maybe even regretful as well, which is why your compassion is going to be really important, because obviously it was just coming from a skewed perspective, right? Or a very limited tunnel vision perspective. And once she expands a little bit, or this person, male or female, once this person expands a little bit, I think there's going to be that feeling of like, wow, okay, I need to just kind of keep my mouth shut in the future. A lot of things are going on unsaid. It's like once you have that Five of Swords moment, there's not a lot of communication after that. And it's more about like, okay, well, I'll just wait for them to figure it out. Or they'll just wait for you to figure out if it's vice versa. So, there could be a lot of talking and a lot of self-expression, and then not a lot as people adjust. Okay. What is this card? Align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? Clearly something is not aligned, but I think you're making your way toward alignment with that Two of Swords there. You're making your way into a more crystallized picture of what really needs to happen. There could be, this person clearly is not irrelevant to you in your life. Clearly this person loves you and you love them, or you respect them, or you have to work with them or whatever. So they're not going away. No one is going away here. But something needs to change with the dynamic for sure. And I see both parties involved, or maybe there's three people. If you feel like it's you against two other people, I see one individual being a lot more arrogant and a lot more stubborn. This one is the one that like will be willing to admit like, hey man, I was super wrong. I'm so sorry. Like you were right. It is what it is. And I'm not saying you are perfectly right either, which means you do need to like admit to where you were wrong. And sometimes alignment and what needs to change does come from a space of forgiveness. Forgiving yourself first and foremost, and forgiving the other person. What needs to change is how you communicate with each other. What needs to change is your level of compassion, because the only thing that can change is you, right? You can't force anyone else to change. That I think we all know is not really a possibility, and it's not worth aiming for. So if you want to change the dynamic with someone, you have to change internally, change the way you speak, change the way you react, change the way you respond, and hopefully it will change. If not, then it's probably time for you to distance yourself from certain people in your life. That too can also be changed. All right, so here we have Diana, the Queen of the Wilderness. The language of the natural world is a frequency of love. This is my mother tongue. And I like her coming through with her bow and arrow, which is very Sagittarius-like, right? And then we have the King of Wands, which is Leo. And the fire aspect here, I don't know, I love with fire energy. I really do. I love fire love. And it might be important for you to connect with nature at this time. Separate yourself from the worldly, the coins, take a beat, take a step into the wilderness, because it's going to help you cope. It's going to help you figure it out. Figure out and pinpoint exactly where there needs to be an adjustment. You can even meditate a little bit on Diana, right? The goddess Diana. I think she's a goddess or a queen. I think she's a Greek goddess, right? I honestly don't know. these cards, these divine feminine cards, they pull in feminine energies from all different mythologies, Christianity, Hindu, Buddhist, like everything. So yeah. Exhibit love, which can be real hard sometimes, especially if someone is really wrong, right? Like if someone you know is really wrong, it can be hard to just like be like, it's okay. Like that's just you, and just write it off. You don't have to try to convince anyone. You don't have to try to force your opinion on anyone. You don't need to force anyone to see it from your perspective. I think eventually they will, okay? Eventually they will, and you have to have faith in that. Oh, interesting, a wombat spirit, to be at home. You might find safety in the home space because it kind of keeps you away from that Five of Swords. It could keep you away from being so in your ego, because the home is usually that very safe space. You know, it's the space that we tend to retreat to for that security. So when things get a little tricky out in the world, you then can come home, retreat, and find, you know, and recalibrate. This is actually, I feel, more of like a recalibration with this alignment card. So take the time you need to retract and to retreat when you're dealing with difficult people, because it's just going to help you to be more conscious when you do need to deal with them. Last but not least, spiritual evolution, set your heart free. Beautiful. When we find ourselves in a Five of Swords situation, we're not free. We are then at that time a victim of our ego, because it's our ego that is trying to force someone to see it our way, trying to force our perspective, or trying to force anything, right? And when you find yourself in a battle that simply cannot be won, I love this, go home, set your heart free, and acknowledge how your ego has played a role, right? Because this is a Leo energy. We are in Leo season. So ego's a thing, but ego can be beautiful and be used as a tool. But it also is very easy for us to get so in our ego that we then lose sight of what's really important. And what someone believes, it's not really our place, and if it's not hurting them, then it just is what it is, you know? And so set yourself free, I think, by stopping caring so much. Right? Stopping caring so much, and just focus on what you know you have control over, which is yourself. Okay? All right. Number 4, thank you guys so much. Have an excellent month. Take care. Bye-bye.